Evening at evening. Well, I'm taking midterm at the Department of Secondary Education. I work in the Office of College. And with me this evening, Commissioner Hello. Also from the department, Shanika Williams, who is our charter director. Lisa Hazel, Secretary of State Joel Holland, also St. Louis Brothers. And Harry Gordon, who is Chief Governmental Relations. And in the back of the room, Stuart is the president and the with us here this evening, I'd like to recognize number 2. There's Casey. Yeah, to our state work for supporting Normandy in its work and to my for the purpose of being here. We'd also like to thank the Honor House for their hospitality. Extend a special thank you to the Normandy School Collaborative Leadership and the board members for hosting this meeting. One of the reasons for this meeting is because state law calls for it. Section 162.081 statute requires that the department hold public hearings in districts that are or have been accredited, as long as the district remains uncredited or provision is accredited. The statute calls out the purpose of the hearings to provide an opportunity for you to identify those historians that may be useful or even necessary to support the district and seek to achieve its goal or right. The hearing is now open. We're live streaming and recording the meeting. You're going to have an opportunity to join in the facilitated discussion in just a little bit and share any written comments that you would like to. And in a few moments, you'll hear from Jack and Bell beyond housing with details about the agenda. And you'll hear from me again on adjourn the hearing at 7. First, I'm happy that our new institute is fundamental meeting could be with us tonight. She's a lifelong educator. She started her career as an elementary school. She's been a building principal and superintendent. She's been an assistant commissioner at DESI. She served as an education services contractor and provided technical assistance to the United States Department of Education. She served in the Missouri legislature, representing District 133 in Missouri. Fifth, and most recently, District 33 in Missouri. Throughout all of this, her focus has always been on prioritizing the needs of Missouri's children. So with that, I'd like to ask Commissioner Essler to say a word. Well, hello, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm wondering about the acoustics. Stuart, over back there. Okay, so I called it right here. That's right here. How right now? Yeah. This is what I wanted to say to you, and I really want you to hear. Because I'm going to you are right now, each and every one of you are where you're supposed to be, right here in this room. Talk about what we do in our community for our children. So I don't know that you took the time, got it all together to do it over here after some, or maybe y'all would have seen it. And we're going to spend some time to talk about which is your school and your children. I really, if everybody please this way, we're both
Yay, how's that? You better. Maybe that's system. Turn one of. I'm gonna walk over here. It's even worse than better. And you go. Tomorrow, you know. Well, I will say about the baby. So, realizing this is what I want to say to you. Thank you so very much. I see your faces. I see your videos, and I'm looking for you to good days, your children. And thank you for doing this. My name is Paul Esslinger, and I'm here to be a service and support to the Normandy School District. You hear service and support to the Normandy School District. Together, together, you have a continue with the good days. Can't be seen. I want to be where you pay. With somebody that well, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Carla. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Bell. I'm the Chief Transformation Officer here with Beyond Housing. I'll be facilitating and seeing a bit this evening. Our President and CEO, Chris Kramer, did not join us. But on behalf of Chris, as well as our senior leadership team, again, thank you, Bessie, thank you, NSC, for hosting this very important discussion in the community. A bit about us, Beyond Housing's mission is to strengthen families and transform communities to a stronger, more equitable, and prosperous state is one thing for all. And we fulfill that mission through a comprehensive community development efforts right here in the Normal School Collaborative footprint. So we, like you, are committed to the student families of the Normal School Collaborative. A couple of things that we do in the district, we have one or more Beyond Housing Family Engagement Fellows embedded into the schools in Normandy. We also have the Vital Advantage program, which is our college access and persistence program, where we offer match savings, as well as other programs for students, 101 high school students. And then behind me, see that we've also hosted holiday friends recently, where we're had the great pleasure of supporting over 500 kids for inviting their holidays usually. And tonight, hear from Dr. Triplett, Normal School Collaborative Superintendent, Dr. Brooks, Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services, and Mr. Campbell, Director of Safety and Security, as they present on the state of the district. So that is the presentation here. And then once they present, we want to hear from you. And as mentioned by Lisa, we will have tabletop discussions. I would offer that you look at the table that you're sitting at. We've got three very important topics: academic performance, meaningful parent and family participation, and school safety. If you check the large sticky on the table, that's the table that you're at. So if you're sitting where you want to sit, stay there. Rather discuss a different topic, feel free to switch to a different table. And the way that we're going to do tabletops, we'll have one facilitator and one scribe at each table and split the conversation. And then at about 7:05, we'll do a report out where we'll have a full group discussion where the facilitator will be invited to share a summary of what was discussed. Live stream, we are live streaming, so all of those comments are also being captured to also taking a look at those if needed. And then again, these will come back up and adjourn the meeting. So that's what I'll do first training. Who wants to do this before? Thank you. And we want to welcome everyone to the public hearing. My name is Chris Trevon, Students Communication Director for Normandy School Collaborative. We have a short presentation. Just run through. So you need to kick that off. Being a special surprise for the meeting coming up. We like to start off all of our meetings with our mission statement. Should the mission statement? So here are our mission statement. We like to start off each of our meeting with that. In the end, mission statement matches the pictures that are in the presentation. Those are our students, and that's why we have our mission statement.
So our strategic priority for tonight is to build a world-class central office that is responsive and nimble. We want to hear from you this evening, so that's why we're joining this evening about the presentation and participation from the audience. So here's the one of the things that we do in the communication department, we deemed up our radio capacity. And so as a way to introduce Normandy to our school leaders, so these fine people that you see sitting here, this is our cabinet from Normandy School Collaborative, put together a fun little picture that I'd like to show. From me, since you're walking on new watch about three sports service that are top five, I walk around myself. I'll move, I was doing this route. So you're looking at the way. Our current demographics. Student enrollment was 2,853, friend building, populated in 232, experience 431 in all. General students are 2,060. Of that, we have 2,453 African students, 232 Hispanic students, 38 multiracial, 79 from Asian American, 5 American Indian, 2 Asian Americans. And then we have a also pretty even split between our male and female. 49% being female and 51% being. So how are we doing as a district? About a year and a half ago, when I took the state, I said that you will see incremental movement in our student downfalls.
That's because a lot of things has to take place before we start seeing really gains, set foundation things, like curriculum and instructional systems and culture and climate. So those things have to be done before we start to see. But in any era, we should see some progress and change. So just in history, this is killing me. So let's say we are outlines expectations for schools, practices, and student outcome, supports statewide goal that each student graduates ready for success in college career, produces an APR for each local or state agency or other single year in term, three-term period in this IPRC, we have APR of your LA. So the purpose of the annual performance or APR report is that APR indicates progress of Missouri students, schools, and LEAs for standards adopted by the State Board of Education. It is produced for all school districts and charter LEAs. It is used in the process for classifying school districts. It is required for approval decisions made by charter sponsors. And it is one of the many ways that parents and communities can evaluate LEAs. So just where do our percentage points come from? So we look at these areas here. These are the areas where we're graded. And as you can see, these are the percentage points assigned to 70% are performance related, and then 30% are continuous improvement. I'm just giving you history before we dive into the actual report. These are the associated points. If you can see in 2022, in this 3 above the 36, that means that only English and math were the core subjects counted now in New York State. If you look over here, you see this 5. I'm sorry, in 2023, they added social studies and science. So, and then in 2024, responsive standards. So if you look at the bottom score each year, total number of points increase. And I want to keep that out because I want to cover those 5, you'll see how relations to those totals. Okay. So this is one time. In 2022, we looked at the box that resulted in 2022, APR may not be used to lower less insurance. That's important to know. Because now they're continuing to look at 23 and 24, and before 25, and 25, 26 to establish classification. This week, I got state quality on test. These are taking exactly from the DESA website, so you don't tell me. So this is performance. In the performance range, out of the total 104 points, the district received 4.3% or 56.5 points to them for of the continuous improvement ones, the district received with 60 points, 90% of the system. Total the district received for the 2023-24 school year is 110. And subtotals from performance and the subtotals from continuous improvement, that gives us a score of 110.5. Now, in my opinion, win is a win. Regardless of how temperamental they are, all they deserve to know that we're going to teach our staff to know, we're moving in the right direction. Here's what it is. Just, if you are looking at top of this 2022, 23, 24. Mention to you guys, these points change. So look at 7 car, 2022, we had 101, 23, we had 105.2, 24, we had 150.5. I think that was a lot for myself. The movie of the rain, I was just mentioning the month about 54.7 to 5, geez, 0.5% raise, can believe me. So at this time, I'll turn this microphone forward to our Director of Safety and Security, Mr. Normandy.
Good evening. Again, safety and security. We've had several upgrades, and this is our strategic priority number 2. And that's to provide a safe, engaging learning environment with robust social and emotional well-being and common informed support. So those are some of our upgrades that we are very excited. We'll give me report on this a little later on. Our crisis alert system. It's a system that Dr. Triplett has brought to us from Kansas City. It's a really simple alert system. We all wear badges, and we have clickers on our badges. 3 times is for a staff alert. Kid may be sick. There might be posturing for fights or things of that nature. Teachers or administrators click it 3 times, and each building has a response team, and they come running and find out what the issues are. 8 times or more, if the building locked down, then the real police is built. We also have about 300 new cameras around the whole district. So there's really no place that cannot be surveilled at any time. We've also added 2-way radios to our district. So now I'm able to communicate to every building, every security officer, and every administrator that has a radio, district-wide. And we're able to communicate with each other on a constant basis. We've also upgraded our metal detectors, which are better known as magnetometers. The high school and the middle school have new magnetometers that are state of the art. We've increased our security staff by at least 6 more officers. I'm in process of hiring our last one, so we'll be fully staffed by this week. And I don't know if you guys have seen it around the district, but now we have new security vehicles. Very nice white Chargers with our logo on the side. So each year, all districts are required to do what they call safe school training. And every year we have to go through the state and our insurance company will usually dictate specific training that we have to go through. We have to get 85% or better. This year we are at 95% completion. So that's something to give a round of applause to all. Our Cintiq, I just talked about that. So September in August, when we first got it, we had 15 alerts. September we had 73, October we had 49, and November we had 27. This month so far we've had 6. What that tells us that kids, our students now, our college are now starting to learn the rules and regulations, and hopefully have to get exactly better. So now we're having less and less of work. These are the reasons why the alerts went off. We had 51 fights. Teachers set the alarm off, teaching call 51 times for fight. 55 were tests. Every time we get a new employee, we have to test it, make sure that it works. 15 were accidental price. 6 were suspicious behaviors. 46 were misbehaviors. Kids acting up in class, not doing what they're supposed to do. The teacher hit the button 3 times. And we have 1 medical alert. That's all.
What Chief Mills mentioned is that we test every week. We test buildings to make sure our response to the buttons push are minimum. We want to make sure that every time a person pushes that button, there's only about a 1 to 2 minute response time. They're taking to whatever the reason was behind the button push.
And just an FYI, our response time so far is about 2 minutes and 5 seconds for each alert that's hit.
Good evening, my name is Tony Brooks. I'm the Assistant Superintendent, Student Support Services, for Normandy School Collaborative. We're focusing on strategic priority number 5. Strategic priority number 5 is about impactful partnerships that focus on strengthening family and community partnerships. Now we're having a few of the areas that we oversee. From attendance to special school district, student support services, we were involved in nearly 100% of all areas impacting the whole child. This fall, we sent out a survey focusing on culture and climate, and the results you see here are some of the responses that we received. We distributed this fall to parents and guardians and also students to capture their perceptions on culture and climate. The data will serve as our baseline because we'll be sending out the very same survey in the spring to see if we're able to measure improvements based on those perceptions. Our community partnership right now, we are here with Beyond Housing, our biggest community partner. We've significantly reduced the number of memorandums of understanding, which are MOUs, by more than 50%. And we continue to promote only partnerships that benefit our students. And generally speaking, most of them have zero cost. The impact at building level. Student support services, we work with all building units to ensure that data is accurate, that we support our kids with SEL, which is social emotional learning and supports in all schools. We also focus on multi-tiered system of support, this MTSS, and also with family engagement liaisons and our parent engagement and community involvement specialists. They continue to reach out, be in the community, and build bridges for family. This slide is focusing on data that was collected from August to December. As evident by the data, when compared data from 23-24 to 24-25 from the months of August through December, our data regarding out-of-school suspensions, long-term suspensions, and expulsions have improved significantly, as evidenced by this slide. If you look at out-of-school suspensions, so if you look at out-of-school suspensions from 23-24 to 24-25 in August to December, that is a significant decrease rate. Significant. That means everyone's putting in work. Everyone's working hard to ensure that we're doing what we can to keep kids in the classroom. Our 90-90 data. What is 90-90? That is our effort to have at least 90% of our students in the classroom at least 90% of the time.
Again, if you look at data from August to December from 23-24 to 24-25, our 99 has increased last year to this year from 68 to 85%. That means our kids are in the classroom significantly more. And if we think 85 is our target, we're gonna go for 100%. Okay. So
So that's what you're waiting for, to be able to the team so that we can have some fun, right? So the early plans for us is that getting those into our store, our safety enhancements are everything. We adopted math, science, social studies, and social studies and the other area. We successfully launched our K-2 literacy initiative. We increased last year, even though it's going to be any kind of degree readiness participation. Last year we had 365, this year we have 915. So that's a 151% increase. Last year, well, in August this year, we were, I want to say 60 or 64%, we had 60% field work in our certified teaching area. It means we had a lot of our missing. Currently, we're 94% field work. All of our 102 classroom are field certified teachers. All our ancillary, we also launched a superintendent advisory committee that assists the students. We have a student advisory committee, we have an advisory committee, we have a strategic plan committee. District incentive plan committee, we have a person to manager to incentivize staff doing the amazing down a lot of these. So there's a point, I'm going to turn it over to housing development. There's a lot we still need to go on this meeting to make sure it's good. When we want to be.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tripper, Mr. Campbell, and Dr. Brooks' presentation on state and district mother and more NFB things. And now is our time to hear from you. Again, I said at the top, we have 3 very important topics of discussion: academic performance. These are the 5 tables on this side of the room. And we have meaningful parent to family participation. Those are the middle tables, and the tables to the far, and there are for student security and safety. If you joined us earlier and you're on the back wall, please feel free to join a table. We will have a facilitator, or rather, each table needs a facilitator and a scribe to discuss the topic, and then just from 7:05 we'll just go over the report out here. The facilitator from each table will be able to share 1 or 2 minutes on summary of what we discussed. So, academic performance, meaningful family and student meaningful parent space of participation. So feel free to break out on groups and start your discussion. Okay, baby, what's the
and spare kids about making us with center fresh, about you, and seeming to safety, everything. You know, she leaves no stone unturned. She is. She's picking like now. That's a like, have to be invited to safety. And it's not so. And this is like, I can say that. I believe that our entire I don't think from them ready heavy that's very like so we just require how to still get pregnant about where we can so first thing I'm it's like snap their game communication. Okay. So like communication that's where you get to do so putting you talk can communicate with them. You don't for me up down in the store. So you gotta think what's the best. You last year, the most here. Last be like that, go back and out to the station. Sam, but it will be you might have got great man. Yeah, that's what you know. So I think it's strange, though. Like, Right now, okay, then we can have your people in it and so watch for basically people. Because I'm not one of the day, they really think just from friends that even bring up that That's when they go to the stove, they're gonna put the more. What's in the eating? It's all.
Well, yeah, and then rather some things and certainly black. You were facilitator, you know, you were the way. My next shot was facilitated. They're facilitators. Facilitators. Okay, so what you're doing is that section. We are going on topic by topic, facilitator by facilitator, we'll have 2 minutes, share a summary of what our table discussed. We've got the clock here, be mindful of the clock, and then once your 2 minutes up, you pass it to the last facilitator, and now in a minute, at least over. So, our first student. After the performance, the number of meeting of parent dealers, state and close for on speaking. Thank you, thank you, everybody. I think this had the most amazing conversation with the most exceptional parents. And I'm sure there are other exceptional parents here with our citation when we first raised the question, what do to increase or improve academic performance? Instantly, it was parent engagement. And we just couldn't stop talking about it, and it was so really based on classroom behavior. And why was classroom behavior such a challenge? And it was largely due to the fact that parents needing more engaged, providing more discipline at home, more aware of what's going on with their children in school. And so some of the ideas that surfaced were there should be meetings with parents and staff to better understand, making sure parents are aware, making sure the state is aware that of these things and how they can be handling it. That was his idea. Kids and parents have a lot of stress and trauma at home. So how can that be understood? How they're understood families that can help them with it? Yes, that's part of programs. So maybe opening programs weekends in the school, parents and the kids into the school, giving the kids an outlet to release some of their tensions, but also provide opportunities for parents to talk with each other, to learn ways to deal with the stress. Community events, creating programs of active parents and inactive parents, and assign an active parent to reach out to bring on board inactive parents and help coach them or encourage them to come to these programs. Parents and child first, that's the growing the lessons that need to be delivered. Parents are so overwhelmed, but how can they learn how to put the child first? You need to want to talk with the parents about so that they better understand. Creating parent management programs. Yeah. When we get one, so present here with some of our students, board members and representatives, and we had a two-hour to talk about what's working in Normandy as it relates to academics. And one of the things that the new focus in charge has been, we hired interventionists and academic coaches that go from school to school and work specifically with teachers or things that they're struggling with so that we can provide more effective academic instruction to the students. We've also received from our curriculum and instruction department, based on the data, we've received for the principals and the academic teachers and the children, we're real down on the data to us specifically and where we're missing the mark for the children, where they need to increase, so that we're able to identify who needs what, moving into a classroom of differentiated instruction. Also, we're working for is our CTE units, our career readiness. We're having a lot of there. Or when you put out with a person that's trying to enter seeking it for community. We have more kids are participating, good in the career, things and it's really working with the so many years. Because we know in this vision of the Dr. Chippers that we can for a student to learn if they're struggling socially and emotionally. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing that our schools are really trying to we're seeing that our children are more in the seat because we have people coming in meeting with them, and there's a real focus on that particular piece because there's a communication between whether they're going to be in the seats to learn, whether they're in the seats, and so we're really focused on the social and emotional that the we really need the parents to talk with us. We want to communicate with the parents about their student progress. We need you to talk with your students about it. And if there's some hiccups or some things that you don't see that some hope that we need to plug in, we want to hear from you. We're open. We want to things round and wrap around service. No, for our students before our parents. So we're talking about overlays and engaged parents. That's one of the focuses, a new focus that Dr. Pittman really focused. And we want to be proactive in what we're doing. So we're academically, socially, emotionally, academically, we're connecting them. We have the right people in place. There's a new focus on the academic piece. There's a new focus, and we have people coming in working on the social and emotional piece. And we're open for any comments and support from our parents and the community being the same too. Good evening. You had a part of that student a senior class and because we didn't have a person meeting. And so one of the first things that he said is communications within the classroom, students don't really put a and he says that we need to celebrate students who are doing academically first time students. So students who report that are really high achievers need to be really mentoring. That was mentoring providing mentors with the student, but providing mentors to the parents. A lot of parents really related to them. So we have community start over any of us. It's learn. Spirits and school after school program to read. And I'm sure there's many organizations down through school and tutoring that are in our areas and your ministry. One to make one school. Because they're they serve them in they need a village. Basically. That's not
Hi. Our table included a parent, grandparent, and community member, and we thank y'all for being here. Yeah, 3 generations here, sir. For again, academic performance, of course. Um, the first thing we discussed is that student behaviors are prohibiting learning in the classroom. And we tried to talk about solutions at the table also. So, to respond to that, focus on classroom management. Any homeschool educators in here will know this phrase, we gotta keep school before we can teach school. Um, we agree that there should be more tutoring, and an idea for that is maybe local businesses could encourage their employees during the school day, which would be during business hours for most of them, so they're getting paid to do this, to come and volunteer in the schools for tutoring. And then we think there should be more mentoring support for new teachers. So when new teachers come in, more extensive mentoring support for the experienced teachers whose data and experience shows that they know what they're doing.
Having probably bringing our down with one senior in the district who has actually been in the district and has given the district a lot of graduate year. Prior years, so we got a chance. You were able to be an academic performance as well. So I think that Mr. Henderson pointed out, he saw the grid, the number that Dr. Triplett put up on the board about current enrollment at 2,823. He had a question around who makes up, we see the general population of about 2,160 students, but what about the students in between the spin, the students who have special needs, perhaps they have IEPs, etc., or the English language learners? He said, what's happening with those students? Are they getting the quality of education or he was concerned about ensuring that all of our students, which we all are getting a quality education in our district. And so that was one of the things that we looked at and spoke about academic performance. And other things that he brought up around things around like the nanny is. I mean, he's been in the district for several years, coming out of the district, moving away and moving back. And, he was talking about that as well. So we had some interesting things, but it was good to sit down at the table and see the citizen and talk about the background of the recipient, and that's what we talked about. Thank you.
Formally motion to meaningful family parents participation.
Okay. I like to follow what you said. So meaningful family and parent participation. I'm a parent, by the way, and so this is what we discussed. So I guess some of the strategies to increase parent participation, we decided on more communication, better communication as far as the school events and the schedules, phone calls, emails, and text messages. Just I guess less robot automated messages and more personal phone calls probably could help. Um, then we discussed that we need to keep our student information updated, so we contact parents. I guess there's problems with phone numbers changing, and my friend here said that he did a home visit before and there's nobody there, so there's no idea where the students are at the moment. So just better communication and then you see uh, some of the root causes. So some of the root causes of, I guess, lack of parent participation would be parent schedules, transportation, and there's maybe mental health issues and past experiences. And I guess we need to come together, get an understanding of what those causes, how we can fix those causes. Good. To make it a school-wide initiative, I guess, to fix those causes and also continue support from elementary on up to high school. Don't slack up and just just think your student just let them coast on. Just keep stay involved. And you need more parent role models. Uh, I guess like she mentioned, parents can call up the parents and just more motivation to keep their kids in school and participation and I guess that's it in a nutshell.
Good evening. One of the things about our table mimicked the gentric in a way because it was like, it was a very transient table. And people in and out, in vouchers. And so as a result, we created something I think that's meaningful. The first thing the group talked about is having a welcoming environment at the schools. They need to be such that parents want to come, not just when kids are in trouble, but just in general. We talked about needing to have a community effort to support academics, especially at the middle and high school grades. Because we found a lot of times once kids hit middle school and high school, the parents don't think they need support anymore, and they need it more than anything. Because I share with the group when you get to the middle school, it's like having somebody with the white blood, but you're not sure if anybody. And so we got to be able to make sure that we're engaging kids there. We also talked about the need for parent organization at every school. We talked about a need for parent education, how to support and interact with students. We also talked about active parenting is needed. Basically, around behavior to be goal rewarding. And we need to, kids are basically seeking more hugs because every day they're challenging and learning. And so we felt that if we show them more love, because you've always heard the adage, kids they won't do anything unless you know they care. And so we have to have a more caring environment. So then we talked about uh, students are looking for consistency. Do what you say you do. And that was the end of our transit report.
So speaking of curriculum, one of the things that we discussed that makes it to get many parent engagement is the amount of turnover there is every year of families and students, not even just at the end of the year, but during the school year with students leaving and with students coming, and what that does. Not going to because for us, relationships, the basis of everything, we recognize that. Um, One of the things we talked about was the importance of this sort of triangle of teacher, the student, the parent, and you've got to have solid relationships. You've got to have at least two of those really working well for it to be meaningful. As you're saying, you can have the best teachers in the world, but if the parents and families aren't engaged, parents and students aren't engaged, then it's not real much. We also talk about parents needing to feel welcome in the school and recognize that happens. The parents are more engaged probably at the early learning center in the elementary school years, but it's when you come to middle school and high school that then it begins to fall apart. Uh, the role of young counsel is super important again for stabilizing the families in community. So if parents come, if they're being evicted, if they come for the rent, if they, you know, then the kids aren't getting. So that's okay. So.
There, I know, with children, and for the students, they're the American, they can give my vote. They didn't know his man was, you know, issues. So they not very good. I mean, when Jenny, put the table, knocking out my own, David North, one of his sons, so I mean, so, yeah, I think that they gonna get better, they're gonna find a way. But not a listen. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
I don't know what to say, the privilege of, serve as one in school, collaborative, about living young, hoping as a family engaged in game time. This is what parent engagement looks like. And so the training behavior that with all of my friends over there is that it seems area of their lives. We want them how to be from service and work from the child here and transportation. But teams working with in relationship looks like. Still on meeting family and parent engagement.
Well, we started with two-way communication. We don't want our district to talk at us. We want them to talk with us. We want to have sit downs and have open dialogue about what we need and what we need for our children, our students. Relationship, um, building relationship. So it's easier to come to administrators or teachers with a problem when you sat down and had relationships, when you sat down and had conversations outside of having issues. What else we talk about? We want meetings with not only our administrators, but we want meetings with our board as well. We don't understand how our board knows what the community needs if the community doesn't communicate with the board. What else? Parents. So we realize that our parents do not come with instructions. Our parents don't come with being a parent. We just winging it until we figure it out. And so our parents need support. Our parents need to be educated on how to support their students. Because there's no handbook to, and great parenting doesn't just fall out of the sky. Our parents need to feel welcome. When they walk through the doors, they need to feel welcome. And they shouldn't only be meeting when we have an issue. We want to have sit downs where we just feel welcome, where we just feel like hanging out. Parenting transition. So when parents, what we're finding is that when parents come to our district, there's no real avenue for them actually coming in. It's not, it doesn't feel seamless. And they really don't know where to go. So when you go on other districts' websites, it's you just click, it says parents right there. And there's a whole list of what you need and how we can help you and who you're supposed to call. And our district doesn't do that. Our district says, here's a comment section. And her voice is matter. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Oh, thank you.
I would have to think about it. You would want to this is I think the students in school safety. That's in student. That's student. Very soon, and then the first part of the team, is it? So we want to also, we have first students who transition, transition to hosting, involving, students, with, Hi everyone. My title is with a parent or member, a grandparent and a teacher. Our subject is school safety. One of the things was there's too much responsibility on the teachers and keeping the schools safe. Taking the phones and ignoring big conflicts. I think that's what we're doing with the district-wide cell phone thing. So, more information to come with that. Our parents should be, parents should be held accountable. They go to the students, the parent, staff, community, all the people. Mentioned there's more, footwork and dealing with safety on the first one central. Students should have an electronic call pass instead of the paper pass they could be duplicated. Full enforcement on the school uniform is mostly an issue that's in the high school. We really don't see it in other buildings, but mostly in the high school. Parking lot people, there's been a lot of activity on the high school parking lot, so possibly parking lot again. More effective management of statistics, the ESS, the maintenance, the multilingual teacher, making them more acclimated with the system. Accuracy training was like, and we don't really, we have it, but we never know. That's what I'm saying. Management of bullying. Bullying is not to stop at the students and go, but the teacher means that. And then community being a village. If we start with the community, start home, bring it to school, and we all work with that. Thank you all for your participation. Lisa is going to close us out.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we're on the right spot. Wonderful. On behalf of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, I want to thank you all again. How your participation is so important to the work that's happening in the district, the work that's being supported by the State Board of Education, by Dr. Triplett and his leadership team and all of the staff and teachers at schools collaborative. What I heard so many times in the report out of the discussion was it comes down to the community and the relationships, the respect for one another and caring for each other. And I see that you have that news. So I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of that discussion. I also want to, in addition to thanking the Normandy Schools Collaborative Leadership for being here, for hosting, for Beyond Housing, for hosting, I'd like to thank the Normandy group members who are here this evening. When you all make this commitment to your community, and especially to Mr. Harlan Dodge, who's the president of the Normandy Board, for his leadership and that unwavering dedication and supporting the good work, doing what's best for kids. So now this hearing is adjourned. Thank you.